Hello, everyone. Salvete. Everyone, please welcome my dear friend, the awesome, the inimitable, the Magister Craft, Jessie Craft. Hey, Jessie. Salve.
Hey,
How are ya?
Salve, good. How are you doing, man? Good
I
to
am
see you.
so excited to see you. You have been busy in the trenches working on this amazing project we're going to talk about today for what feels like, how long did it take to build Rome? 700 years? About that long.
Yeah, yeah. That's about how much time
Yeah.
I've spent on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't know Jesse Craft, he has an amazing YouTube channel, which is criminally undersubscribed. So we're almost at 10,000. Let's get you
Yeah, we're almost there.
Divus. Let's get Divus Magister Craft. I'm putting it in the on the screen here for all of you. So I'll definitely go subscribe
Thank
because
you. Yeah.
what Jesse does is he makes these amazing videos which are full immersion in Latin, and he uses most of his videos. He uses the computer game Minecraft, which allows a three-dimensional immersion environment, and he's built ancient Roman landscapes, the Roman Forum, and architecture, and he describes all that stuff there, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So. And Jesse and I also do this podcast, Legio since you've been
That's right.
so.
Just stand up.
That's right. We got the merch.
That's right.
That's right. Merch is below if you're interested. And we do the podcast except when you're extremely busy doing really important and amazing projects. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that again, time permitting, as always, because what you're doing, I think, is amazing and super important, and we're going to talk about it today. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the Minecraft thing, how you use it as a Latin teacher in your classes, and all that.
Gosh, I guess I could give you also a very abbreviated version of how I'll get into that and why, because I think it's all sort of relevant. I mean, I guess back as early as 2010 or 11, I started messing around with Minecraft, but it was a way to just kind of take a break from schoolwork. And while I was doing that, I guess because like so many of us, I sort of have this kind of obsessive mentality, and so when I find something that I like, it's all in, and so I found myself bringing the ancient Rome, Greece, into the things that I was doing in Minecraft. Because for those who are watching that don't already know, Minecraft is well, we could call it a video game. It's fine. It's very much like a digital version of Legos in a sense. So we're building. We have blocks with which we are constructing really anything that you want. You just within reason, only because of its blocky nature, right? So, anyways, I started building with that, and then I started making Roman and Greek themed things, and they were the representations of the reality that I was trying to make were actually respectable. I was finding myself able to feel like, wow, I'm in this domus, this Roman house, or I'm standing in the I don't know, the agora or the Acropolis. I'm in these places. So then I started to understand or see potential for like a pedagogical way to implement this, right? So then from there it was a slow progression of how do I introduce this in a class that is educational? And then over the years, it's developed until now where we are, where I'm making, well, but it's developing even now, right? So I was doing all these videos, like you said before, Latin language, just doing a 4 or 5 minute video where I'm showing some particular thing that I built. And like you said, so what have I built in Minecraft? Currently, I guess the biggest build, which took about 7 years. So, well, you'd said 700 for Rome, so it's 7 for my Rome, but
Really, that long, huh?
Yeah, about 7 years to build.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
a little more, but it's a 1-to-1 scale model of the ancient city. So that's about 5,000 5 kilometers, so 5,000 blocks by 5 kilometers, which would be 5,000 blocks. One block in game is about a meter. I think I said that right. 5 kilometers is 5,000. Yeah. Well, anyways, it's Rome in the age of Augustus. and I was using it, and then of course I built other things too, Delphi and so on, using that to make these 4 or 5 minute little videos where I speak in Latin, tell a story, mythology, or show off some architecture. And then now, like you said, the latest project has been a server. Well, what's a server?
Yes, explain that.
So within Minecraft, like I said before, which has that, I guess it was born as a video game initially. It has a single player and multiplayer functionality to it. The multiplayer requires that there is some server, some other computer elsewhere offsite, or I could house it here, but I don't. But at any rate, it's this hub where everyone wishing to join that server, they all will end up ultimately playing through it. And then so there's playing simultaneously and interacting with each other in a multiplayer setting. So I guess probably since the pandemic started, well, a little after, so maybe sometime this past summer. Oh no, maybe a bit more. Well, anyways, I've been working on, close to a year now. I've been working on this server where it's a Latin language server. It is role playing. It is, well, it's all sorts of things. And in fact, I can show you all today.
That's what we want to see. We want to see this amazing server whenever you're ready.
Well, I guess if you're ready, I can hop in.
Let's show us right away. That'd be amazing. And go ahead and share your thing there like you did before, and we'll put it up here on the screen.
All right, let's do.
And hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. If you have questions about this as we go, if you come late, although you won't hear this if I say this now, so I'll have to, well, whatever. Please ask, because this is the architect himself right here. So you should definitely ask and find out. There we go. You can see the whole screen now.
All right. Can we see then?
We see it perfectly. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we see the two gentlemen, or fellows, people, individuals, homines in front of us.
Right. Yes,
these are Craft. And also
Magister
Craft.
Magister
Craft and Magister Craft.
That's right.
Yeah.
So all of these people here are NPCs. It just
non-player characters.
Not player characters. So I am a player character because that's me right there. I can control this figure within reason. I can fly, I can run, I can jump, I can hit, break, place, and all that stuff.
That's awesome. Oh, and let me insert something. This has incredible value, not just for a younger person who's trying to learn Latin on his or her own necessarily, or even an adult who wants to learn on his or her own, but for teachers, right? Teachers can utilize this in the classroom. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, I want to say that was probably the main reason why I built this server was for teachers. I think they are the primary audience that I've made this for.
Oh yeah.
So, gosh, lots of things to say here, but so it is Minecraft, as I said before, and as you all can see, it's of a blocky nature. So I'll just grab a block, and so that's what building looks like. And so you can imagine, you can kind of understand the limitations. I mean, here you can see this sort of curved wall is not quite as curved as it could be. I suppose I should say just briefly why I've stuck with Minecraft, because by now
it's the most popular game in the world, like 7 years in a row, isn't it?
Oh man, yes. So
it's still the most popular game, even 2021, I think, right?
Yes, very. Oh, millions and millions of people own and play this game. Yes, extremely popular. The other thing, though, and so someone might say, well, I've seen other programs that do architecture way better. Yes, that's true. Absolutely, way better. So many SketchUp, for instance. I've have a colleague of mine, Dr. Matthew Nichols, who has built a scale, a 1-to-1 scale model of ancient Rome. I believe it's in the years 320 or so, maybe when Rome was kind of like really at one of its peaks, architecturally speaking. Built a thing in SketchUp. SketchUp is for any of those who don't know, is a architectural program where you're building things, kind of like a CAD, but it's free. Well, anyways, there is a free version. There's a paid
It's hard to
version
use
as well.
though.
But it's okay. There you go. So that's it. It's harder to use. The learning curve is much steeper. It's doable. I mean, I picked it up and built a temple in it, and it's really impressive what you can do, but it takes time. Also, when you go on a big scale, you need a bigger machine, and there is no multiplayer functionality. I can't bring a classroom of students into a world and then we share an experience together. So for the time being, Minecraft is that tool. If a tool should, I think there's another game that's recently come out called Valheim. I don't know if I've pronounced that correctly. But it's another sort of sandbox game where you're building, constructing things. You have an avatar you can control. But at present, and there's multiplayer functionality, but at present there are no Roman themed mod packs or anything like that would allow us to, make these kind of Romanesque textures and so on. Well,
and the universality of the game. I mean, that's huge, and it's so popular with younger people. And what better way to get everyone and people of all ages into the language, which is what we all care about so much.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because with this, it's in a way you're sort of, I guess, speaking the students' language, right? As it were. So they all have this familiarity. Many of them probably have. Well, hopefully all of them have fond memories of when they were younger playing the game. I know my daughters who are 8, they play it and they're constantly asking me to join their world so they can show off the things that they've built. So yeah, there is that nostalgia aspect to it as well. I was just noticing that that sun is getting ready to go down. So let me fix that.
The architect.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no. So, okay, the NPCs, and then that will bring out the what I just did here with this person. So all these NPCs are, well, quite nearly all of them are programmed so that you can interact with them as if it were, an RPG video game, right? So think of like the Elder Scrolls series, for instance, like Skyrim, that's super popular game. So you go and you can interact with people and have a conversation with them. So they'll tell you all the things that I've, of course, programmed them to say. Now, of course, this is a language learning server. So there are really just 2 people that speak English, and they are there to just kind of ease folks in. Otherwise, everyone else, as you can see here with Magister Craft, speaks Latin. And so these characters, well, anyways, they kind of introduce us to the server, but when you get into the game, we are met with people with exclamation marks. So I try to give everyone who is important a name, give them a name and give them a color, a designation. And then the exclamation point is just obviously to draw your attention to them. These folks, this exclamation point indicates that they have a quest, right? So meaning we can go on a mission to, well, let's see what Vitruvius here does, right? So if we click on him, he's going to greet us. But, we are a young Latin student. We don't know who Vitruvius is. So we ask, he tells us. We admit, regrettably, that we have not read his books, although they are interesting, but to a few people, it's architecture, so it's kind of dry. Well, anyways, he's going to send us on a quest, as it says here at the top of the screen, to become the new Vitruvius, right? And what he wants us to do in order to do that is to go around and visit all of the buildings in the forum. All right, so we have accepted the quest, and we are approaching the Forum Romanum, the Roman Forum, as it may have appeared in the age of the first Emperor Augustus. And I'm kind of thinking maybe just before he died. So I guess so as to not freak people out when they see Augustus, right? Now, I should say this too. It's my forum, and it's a creation, and it's a pedagogical tool, right? Which means, obviously, I'm not proposing that Ancus Marcius. I'm not saying that he was a contemporary of Augustus, right? So just to be clear,
we don't need to do everything historically for very obvious reasons.
right, because then I would have been limited drastically with what I could have done here.
All right.
But so when you have a character like an Ancus Marcius, who lived some however many hundreds of years prior to Augustus, you say, well, why is he here? Well, you click on him and you find out some basic information about him. Then you get to he'll tell you that he was the 4th king of the Romans, and then he's going to tell you, and in fact, this is true for all the buildings. The person in green is going to tell you basic information about the building they're standing in front of, and why have I chosen Ancus Marcius? Because he is in some way related to or associated with the building, whether it's the construction of the building, or at least perhaps the version of the building you see today. So he can give us information about when it was built. And he says that it was built when he was king, and he'll give you this time frame, which introduces the other aspect of the games that I've created here. Oh, so he gave me a ticket. And the exclamation mark went away because I've completed that small quest with him.
Nice, tessera.
Yeah, tessera architettonica. So there is a lot of research that went into all of this.
Well, didn't you literally build every block of every building we see? Like you put each one into place, each 1 meter cube?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, literally you put them all there, and that's unbelievable. Like you literally built Rome.
I have literally built Rome. Now I will let me, because there are, if anyone who plays Minecraft, they're probably, so they've got this question. I always get this question: did you do it block by block, or did you have a mod? So I used a mod that would, so I could determine just real quick.
Now you're building something, right? You put that block there.
Yeah, so I could say, well, I want to build a wall here and here. So I could say replace air, dirt, and then so I can build that quickly, right?
Wow, look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, so just to be clear, I mean, I'm not, so I built it, but maybe I didn't go one block by block. that certainly would have taken entirely too long.
Yeah. No, but you had to know the dimensions of everything. Could you give us a global view? I've seen it from above in different places. I'd love to see how big it is and all the detail.
Yeah, let me see if I can video
like a bird's eye view.
Let me see if I can rake up the distance here. So at present, this is just the forum.
There's the rostrum. Nice. Yep, and the Basilica Julia, Basilica Aemilia.
Yes.
Nice. The Curia must be on our left. Right?
Yeah, we've got the Capitoline Hill when it finishes loading.
There's behind us. There's Capitoline Hill and the Archium and Temple of Saturn. Oh, yeah. Let's go up there. Look, and the Temple of Juno Moneta.
Yeah, well, just
Curia.
The Curia, yes.
This is roughly 1st or 2nd century. I know you would probably want to include a lot of stuff, so maybe a little bit later, like 2nd century.
Yeah, well, so this is the age of Augustus, right? So maybe 10, 11, 12 AD here. So we're going to be
Julius.
Going to be missing quite a few buildings. So and why did I do that? Why do we have this forum here? Because so many Latin teachers like myself primarily are teaching Latin from the Golden Age, right? No, when would that be, Lucas?
Oh well, yeah. The first, I am 1st century AD is my preference. So
right,
because the 1st century BC, you have the beginnings of things which lead to a lot of, especially architecturally, what we see here. But like the Curia, Julia, which is over there on the left, which is one of the most iconic buildings, in my opinion, in the whole Roman Forum, doesn't get even finished until after Julius Caesar is assassinated, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right.
And then you have which forum is behind it there? I know later it becomes Trajan's forum. What is it?
Okay. Yeah. So right there, that's the forum of Caesar, and then behind that, okay, which is not loaded in, is the forum of Augustus, and then over here, eventually, we'll have some other imperial fora, Nerva,
right,
and Peace, as a forum Pacis. But
that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. So the idea, as I was saying before, is, why did I choose this age, this period of time here, is because so much of the literature that we're teaching students, or at least maybe not entirely, but primarily, we're teaching students Latin from this age, from this era here. So I thought it only made sense that they see the forum as Ovid would have seen it, or as Augustus, or Sulpicia, or pick Livy, pick any of these authors that are in and around this age, and this is approximately, basically, what they would have seen, right? So we're missing many of the other buildings that so commonly are present in other models that are made, which tend to be.
That's so important.
What? Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted. I just said it's so important to have that kind of clarity, especially because it's easy enough to look at a reconstruction of Rome, which is from the 3rd century or something, which includes all the famous buildings that in addition to all the famous ones we have here, but like the Colosseum or the Domus Aurea before it was demolished and all those things. They're not going to be there until you don't have, because this is the early 1st century. So if Augustus is around his or near his death, right before Tiberius's reign, so we're not going to have a Colosseum down there, right? What's down there?
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. And the Colosseum, that's probably one of the biggest shockers for students. And to be honest, I've met a couple of teachers that they themselves weren't aware of this. I mean, they're primarily language teachers, so I can't fault them for that. But yeah, the Colosseum in place now, in the map that we're in now, all that is currently available is the Roman Forum. Many of the buildings that I have introduced that are out there in the background are just hollow shells. They're there just to give you a background, a visual background, a backdrop. Because this is a public server, I didn't want to put all of my work into it, also because that would require a great deal more labor on my end to prepare all of that to make sure that it was suitable for everyone to visit. And what I mean by suitable is this. So, for instance, here's a house that is actually outfitted as a domus could have been and may have been outfitted, right? So all the various rooms with all the furniture and everything, and people inside of it. But if we were to, if I go into one of these others over here now, these buildings lie just outside of a series of boundary blocks. So people who come into the server, people come to the server will, if they venture too far out, they'll reach a point where they can no longer cross. So you
can see it, but you can't move through it.
That's right. You can see it, but you can't move through it. So I didn't want to obstruct anyone's view, but I don't need anyone going there because there's nothing to see. So in fact, when you, excuse me, I'm trying to enter this building. So when you come into this building, there's nothing. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to.
It looks like how it does in Pompeii, so it looks to look good enough, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like a real thing. Is the polymerium, the original polymerium, roughly the outline or the border, or is it a little bit smaller than the polymerium?
Yeah, a little bit smaller than a polymerium, and the placement of that is going to be also going to be a bit different. Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, I've just restricted. In fact, let me. I can't recall if I'm sharing a window or a screen. I can show you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing.
You're sharing just this applications window, which is that's a good way to do it. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to share this other screen now. I can do entire screen here. Okay, so here we go. This is on my website, magistercraft.com. So it's part of the virtual forum site here. So here we have the Tabula Geograficae Fori Romani. So this shows you basically what is available. So anything that is outside of this is not available to anyone to visit. So we can see all of the buildings, the titles, their locations, and everything on this map here, right? So I can go back to yeah. So that means the pomerium is, you're not reaching the pomerium in this world here, in this server here. Yeah. What were we?
Yeah, no, this is great. I was interrupting. I wanted to. I had an analogy with, like, not knowing the Colosseum is there in the early first century BC is really important. I think, like, something modern historically comparable is, some people think the space shuttle went to the moon when it was just a low Earth orbit spacecraft, which happened after the Apollo lunar missions were completed.
Yes.
But not all people know that, so they think that, oh yeah, of course the space shuttle went to the moon. But so of course the Colosseum would be there in the time of Augustus, people might think. But the fact that it's not there is a really useful thing for teachers to then have a discussion, because students might go through with their teacher like, hey, where's the Colosseum? I thought it was down here on the map, because they're cool and they're clever and they're looking it up on the map. Right. And you can go on Google Maps, and like clever young people will do, and then like, aha. Right? Like, well, let's tell you about the Domus Aurea, and then about the Colossus and the Colosseum and the amphitheater of Flavian amphitheater and all that. So yeah,
it is definitely not there. In fact, in the age of Augustus, it was probably a residential area. So there, definitely no Colosseum to speak of, which when students ask me that question, I love it, because, I mean, one, that means you're going to rock their world in a sense and tell them, no, there was no Colosseum in the age of Augustus. That giant building that everyone, when you think of Rome, the iconic building is iconic building. But it wasn't there. And so first you're rocking their world with this new information, which is always fun to see the what. And then there's the other aspect, now that it gives me the opportunity to present to them the reality. That where were Romans having these gladiatorial competitions? Where were they competing if they didn't have a Colosseum? And then you get to tell them about the theaters, right? The amphitheaters, or excuse me, the theaters. The amphitheater was the Colosseum, right? But the regular theaters, which would be like a half theater, right? I have half an amphitheater, right? Which for anyone, right? It's like the semicircular building, a hemisphere, or hemicycle, excuse me. So that's where they were having. You think that's just for plays, right? No, they were having competitions in the front there as well, right? So, or the Circus Maximus. Even over there, massive area.
That's right, when was the Circus Maximus built? I don't even know.
That was built under Tarquinius.
Under Tarquinius. Oh, it's that old. Wow.
Yeah, it's that old, right? I mean, well, okay, hold on. Let me be careful.
Well, it's been rebuilt many times.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So originally they had this area that was I don't know, delineated, and there was also like a creek for a long time that ran through, we think, through the center of that, and then they had like perhaps these little land bridges across it so that people could ride their chariots over it, and then over time, certainly in the age of Augustus, it was built of stone. I don't know if he added any marble to it. You know, there's that whole thing about him, of course, converting so many of the buildings to marble. I don't know if he did that. I don't recall right now if he did that to the Circus Maximus, but yeah, it was there.
Yeah.
In a big way, the Circus Maximus was used.
It took me forever to walk across it. I remember. I mean, like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I was 20 then. It's like, I've had enough.
Right. Oh, you know what's beautiful about that though, Lucas? Like what you were seeing when you visited modern Rome is probably not terribly different than the original Circus Maximus, right? When when you had the regal period of Rome and they were just raging across with their chariots or horses, right? It was probably, more like that than what we see built up.
It's on the backside of the Aventine or Esquilian Hill. Gosh, I should know that.
What, the Circus Maximus?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm looking at now. Behind me there is in front of me is the Palatine Hill. So it's going to be just on the other side of that. Again, this is just the Roman Forum on this server, so I don't have the Circus Maximus back there for it.
No, we don't need to go there.
Not on this one, but yeah. So really, the idea with all of this is to give participants a place to do language immersion, right? Which is why I've worked so hard to create as realistically as possible the environment, and then to put in as much language into as many people as was reasonable, because ultimately, what are we missing? That's this is a classic question, right? What do kids ask you, or learners of Latin new to the language? They say, well, where do they speak Latin? Well, they don't really. I mean, it depends on what do you mean when you ask that question, right? They say, well, what country speaks Latin? Well, okay, there we go. Yeah, we don't have that, right? We don't have that country. So I'm not made a country, but I'm trying to make a space, right? Where a space which is accessible.
Continuously, right?
So continuously accessible, which kind of going back to something I started saying, but then I sidetracked myself there. Why Minecraft? Because it is accessible, right? Because many schools in the United States here, and then of course other countries in Europe and Asia and Africa and elsewhere, they have access to Minecraft. You can play this. You can access this server on a relatively low grade laptop, so you don't need a fancy gaming laptop to access this content, and so that means, and what I was doing before the pandemic, I was taking kids to what we call the media center. It used to be a library, right? Now it's a media center full of computers. So maybe some places call it a computer lab, but we would go down there and then we would just log into our computers and enter whatever server I had created for them at the time.
Right. Because you've been doing this for years with your students at a local level, then making videos, which were obviously a video on YouTube is not interactive, but it's wonderful. And this is the combination of both universality and it's so amazing. So they could do, So show more about as far as the interacting with Latin, what you could do or what teachers might be able to do on their first time using it with their students.
We'll do. Let me I just noticed that I'm gonna change something here. Excuse me, I didn't want to do the resource pack. I wanted to do the I'm gonna remove the pretty shaders here for a second. So if you just hang on, it takes a moment for me to drop those.
Oh, no, it's fine. We got a couple comments and questions. A nice Dharma or Ignatius has said, Salvete, magnum cum gaudio vos video, una in pellicola. Yeah, me too. Gratias pludimas propter doctrina vuestra. Ignatius. Gratias, Ignati. Thanks so much.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you have more comments or questions, go ahead and send them, and when we have the chance, we'll get to them. Especially if you want to know how to use this. The links are in the description, of course.
Yes, and we can show folks how to do that as well, too.
Definitely.
Okay, so I mentioned language immersion, and you were asking, well, how does that work? So here we go. As we walk around, things like this will happen. Et ego dixi pulchram tunicam. And if you look at the bottom, it's a guy named Miles Gloriosus who was talking. And he was talking to, if you look at the bottom, to his friend just named Amicus, right? So as you're walking around, you can have the experience of, if you took a group of students to Rome today, right, to see the Forum, they're going to hear at random Italians speaking Italian. Well, they're going to hear a lot of other languages too, but certainly they're going to hear Italians speaking Italian, right? So I wanted to give that sense of, as you walk by, it's just natural. Like here, oh look, here's somebody. We've got some good juice. It's not juice, but
soup juice. Yeah, soup.
We get some soup. We get some great soup. So
it's liquid nourishment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Milk use exquisitum. Yeah.
So
I want to. Let's go in the polýM. Let's do
it. We could go in here, and then we have this lady named Flavia. She is a cocoa, and it says down here, would you like to buy some of this? And then you can. The students are able to interact with someone and purchase these various Minecraft soups for their nourishment, because obviously in the well, I guess it's not obvious, but in the game, for anyone besides myself as an admin, but anyone else coming into the game, they're going to get hungry. I wanted to keep that feature because I wanted to force people to interact with the game at least at this base level of I gotta stay alive.
That's good. Well, then they have to use the language as well because
they have to use the language. So excuse me, I'm gonna fly a little bit and show you kind of like how that works. So we I so rudely flew past the Emperor Augustus here, and. Oh, sorry, that's right, because I'm in the middle of a quest with him. Well, he gives, let's see if I can show you. When you speak with him, he's going to give you tickets, just like the actual emperor did. Tesserae numariae and tesserae frumentarii, which are things that he mentions in his res gestae. Meal tickets. So he's going to give you these tickets. And now for anyone coming into the server who doesn't know this, if you do the sample quest, she will send you to do the very thing that I'm getting ready to show you now. And I'm just going to kind of...
I want to ask you quick, Jessie. Mikhail was asking if it was the Bedrock version or the Java version.
Yes, this is Java. It has to be Java.
Gracias.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Java edition is the one, as far as I know, the only one, I think, that allows the use of mods, modifications, which are what are necessary to make this make these NPCs and bring all this to life. Okay, so you received your tickets from the Emperor, and you can use some tickets to just buy food directly, or you can go to an argentarius, a banker, and exchange tickets for money. So we have the aureus, we have denarii, and sestertii. And then, of course, you can trade those for various types of currency as well, right? The idea being, I understand that there are other types of currency that were used, in the Age of Augustus, but at least these three types to give students some familiarity, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what do? You've got some money, you've got some tickets, you're hungry. So you have to explore the city, right? If we come down here, we see people shouting, they want bread, they need bread, what's going on? Oh gosh, they want to buy bread. So we got a line of folks, they're holding their money out, they're screaming that they want some bread. And we have a guy named Atticus who is a pistor, and we can speak with him. He's actually going to send people on a quest to help him out to get some farina. In order to make farina vitae, right? So that he can make some bread. But he is a baker, and then spoiler, is it a spoiler alert? I guess so. Once you help him with this quest, he will give you daily bread. So you can come and purchase bread from him to stay alive, right? So there's that kind of interaction that I tried to force upon people, so that obviously, Luke, you can enter here, and you don't have to, like when you go to the Roman Forum today, when you go with your students, you don't have to interact with the Italians, right? You don't have to speak with the people there, right? Mm-hmm. Your students, they could just talk to you, no? Right. You're the interpreter for them. And so a teacher could be the interpreter for the students. But what do you do before a trip, before you take students on a trip to a foreign country?
I've never done that. So hold on. What would I need?
Oh, okay.
Toothbrush.
Toothbrush.
What else do I need? Wait, do you mean like preparatory pedagogical materials, or
just to get them ready?
Money. Oh, language. Teaching language.
Language.
Ah, right? There we go.
Yeah.
6 times as sharp.
Yeah. So language. So you're gonna teach them how to say ciao, come stai, dove il bagno, quanto costa. You're gonna teach them these basic phrases, right? Ho fame. I'm hungry. Like.
Yeah.
So I figure at a minimum, even if you're not pushing language as hard as I would, recommend, at least those things you can have your students do, right? To be able to interact. So, which I guess introduces the other use of this server here. And in fact, I guess that's a question that comes up a lot. All right. Jessie, or Magister Craft, you've made this server. What do I do with it? Whatever you want. All right. There's so many things. One, enter as a tour guide, right? You're the intermediary, you're the teacher, and you just show your people around, show your students around, right? Hey, class, this is the Basilica, right? And here's what they do in it. And here is this temple, and here's what they did in it, right? So you can be the one to pass that information on to them. Then, of course, there is the role-playing aspect of it, where students, or anyone for that matter, where they come into the game and they just go around, pretend to be Roman, and you interact with all the people that you encounter, do the quests, help them out. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So if there are thousands of people using this, they don't you don't have thousands of people in there at the same time? How does that work?
Okay.
Like if you have, is there like, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So presently there is a limit on the number of people that can enter and interact simultaneously. Currently the number is set to 40, a very small number, because the server, we just opened the server last week, and so we're trying to determine how many people are going to be using this on a regular basis. One of the ideas is that if it got to be too crowded, we can always, if not enough people were able to get in at the same time, because we were reaching that maximum, I can increase that number so that more people can join at the same time. But presently, what I've noticed is that so many teachers that are using this with students are on such vastly different schedules. So far, we haven't had any major schedule conflicts. Or at least no one's notified me to say, hey, we weren't able to get in.
Multiple classes or teachers could occupy, that necessarily would occupy the same place at the same time. It's not like they don't see each other. They would see each other.
Yes, yeah, exactly. They would see each other. So like, they
don't hear each other.
Oh no, okay, so they won't hear each other. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, for instance, I've got so as a teacher, I was kind of thinking, well, I've got these little tables here, right? That I don't expect that there were tables necessarily in the Roman Forum, but this is also a pedagogical tool, so I can just sort of imagine, students sitting here. They're all sitting at this table while the teacher is kind of talking to them, explaining what they're getting ready to go see. And while, so you're doing that over here on that table, and then maybe there are other people sitting at these other tables. Maybe there are folks just like standing in the forum, maybe even in the Basilica. You've got another class with another group of teachers, and maybe they're here. Maybe the teacher is, or maybe a student is pretending to be, I don't know, an orator who's pleading his or her case, right, in front of their classmates who are all, sitting down here and watching as this unfold, watching and listening. Okay. But Luke, you said, they're not talking to each other. Well, no. So in Minecraft, that's one way to talk. But as you can see at the bottom of the screen there, when I'm saying hello, that is broadcasting across the whole server. So not really ideal. And also it's reading, and so that might just detract from the immersion. So what I have done, and of course people will do whatever they want, but I have also created a Discord channel for this server here, so that folks can get in. And there are, I have public voice channels where they can meet, and maybe you're not with a class, but maybe your teacher, sent you and to complete, students, I want you to visit 3 buildings today. These are the 3 buildings. And then whatever you do outside of that is up to you. Just do these 3 buildings and gather information. So maybe you go in as a student by yourself, but then you meet somebody new in the server, right? And then you want to talk to that person. Well, you just head over to my Discord, and then you speak with them in the voice chat, right? So now we're chatting with each other like you and I are doing. And we're also at the same time walking around the forum and doing quests together. I think was one of the ideas there behind that. I suppose other folks will use Zoom or any of the other voice chat platforms. But anyways, I have that available if anyone wanted that. And the server comes at doesn't charge anyone for this. And I don't charge for the Discord either. Why not? I don't know. I kind of feel like this is sort of my contribution to, I don't know, to the Latin speaking community, right? Like
huge contribution. Wow.
Like so much of the work that you do, Luke, on your, especially Scorpio Martianus channel, well, even here polýMATHY, right? But you're providing a service to a community, right? And you're doing so, let's say, freely, in the sense of, is there some monetary recompensation from this to a certain extent for your channels? Sure, there is, but I mean, are you?
It's much more for the love of it, obviously, because that's why you do it. That's why we do it.
Yeah,
because we have more people who speak Latin. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing.
That's why we do it.
Yeah, that's definitely why we do it, because with this money that you get, it's basically you're reinvesting it back into your passions, right? Into
all of it.
All of it's going back into it. Yeah, so we're just breaking even here with this, right? Because I mean, the idea, like you said, it's a passion, right? It's like, this is what I love. I want to sustain this as best I can. Yeah. So, I mean. There are within the forum here, there are things that a person could pay for. So going back to, I showed you the tabula geografica, or geografica, if you want to make that a plosive or not.
I don't care about that anymore. So
you don't folks can do whatever.
Nope, I'm done caring about those things. I'm way past that.
Yeah,
I have evolved a little bit, I hope.
There are certain things that a person could pay, but it's small. It's like little nominal fees, just like a contribution, and then they could have access to other stuff, like the maps that I had on my website, or I've provided also the script.
Wait, where's the extra stuff? Where do we buy the extra stuff? How do we find it? Is it on the website or?
I think I'm sharing my screen, so I can. Yeah. Okay.
You are. We see you. Yeah, we see everything.
Okay, so here we go. These are the things. Some of the things that I'm talking about. So you have this map. So for anyone who gets lost, they're able to see where all the major buildings are and what the names are. Then all the quest starters and givers. So you can find out, well, where do I go to send my students? And if it's daytime, what quests are they doing, or what quests can they do, right? and those are also obviously, I think, very helpful in helping teachers plan, but probably better, or perhaps better suited to that end are these things here. Res faceta per forum Romanum. What can we do in the Roman Forum? So on one end, I have a list, like a little checklist, that you would download, print off, or just share with your students, and they could go through and they can check off the things that they have visited, right? All the buildings. And there's also here a little blurb about all the quests, which is convenient because that'll tell teachers, okay, so this quest involves some religious aspect. So maybe I want to pre-teach some of these things that revolve around religion, Roman religion, so that students, when they go into it, they are better prepared. But to go even further with that, scripta inquisitionem, texts for the quests, or texts of the quests, right? So here I have 19 pages of all the texts from all the major dialogues and quests inside the server, right? So a teacher can, if you want to know what Marcus Curtius says, and you want to pre-teach to your kids all the vocab so that when they get in here, they are fully prepared to have that conversation with Marcus Curtius and do whatever it is he's going to ask of them. You can do that by looking at the quest text prior to, right? So I've made all of that available. How do you GS? How does someone get that? So we get to, so this is like the splash page. So here's the home page, and we get a virtual forum, which gives everyone kind of a basic rundown of what I've got. So the server, Luke, as we said before, it's free. So if anyone wants that, they just click here for the mods and installations, and it'll show them here. Oh, there's somebody there already. It'll show you how to install all of this, right? It's actually really simple, but I went like step by step. Click this button. Wait for it to load. Yeah, so maybe I could have shortened it so the 12 pages doesn't seem so scary, but it's actually a really simple process. So if all you're interested in is just going straight into the server and playing, you stop here, right? You've got everything you need. You just join and meet up with your class and play. But then the bonus and teaching materials and things are accessible down here. So I explain what they are, and then of course, sorry, the Discord voice channel is another thing that for those, because there are a lot of teachers who do use Discord. So if anyone wanted a channel just for their class, meaning, because you know, Luke, right? You have a Discord?
Indeed.
So you know how it is with the voice channel. I mean, really anyone can enter. If it's a public one, they can all enter and leave as they wish, right? So
right. That
might not be ideal for a class. So I don't, I'm teaching my students. I don't need you, Luke, coming in and bombing it and, acting.
Well, you could have a generic one that's open to anyone to listen in if you just want to be like, hey, I'm over by the horse. Oh, I'm over by a column. Exactly. Oh, I know exactly. Wait, which column? The one that's by the other column. Oh, I got it.
Exactly. Somebody help me. I'm lost.
Where am I? Well, what do you see around you? I see a column and a few people who are milling around.
Exactly.
There's a horse nearby.
It's supposed to be a statue, but its tail is wagging. I'm scared. Yes. So I've got that. There are open chats, but then there are private chats.
You have more than one available, like a few.
Yeah. And in fact, with the private chats, I will make as many as need be. So for anyone who supports me and you gain access by supporting me through these ways, if anyone has another way that they prefer, let me know, and I can add that here. But if they support me,
I'm a proud Patreon supporter of Magister Craft.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Gratis TB. So if you support, then and if you would like it, because we said earlier not everyone needs it, but if you would like to have your own private voice channel, I will give. Teachers just need to reach out to me and let me know this is my name, and then I will add you and all of your students to that voice channel, so only you all can enter, right? So you don't have to worry about anyone else bumping in. Hey, I'm by this column. Somebody help me. Where am I? Right. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
Would you have a couple of comments and questions when you're ready? We have Davide Gemello of Podcast Italiano.
yes.
Says that we're doing is incredible, incredibile, absolutely.
That's it.
And let's see. I can never this wonderful Polish fellow. I can Szyszkięty. I think I got it. I'm sorry. I'm so terrible at pronouncing Polish. Anyway, how do you order burger in Latin? We actually can do that. That would be bubulam conquisam in paniculo wedding. Queso. There you go. Done. That's how you do that. Santiago Garzon asks, did you have help building the map or making the server available online? Did you do this all on your own? You said we a couple times, so I don't know if that was the royal we or the Virgilian we or
Yes. So in terms of building, I ended up building all of this on my own. But as you can see, there are, well, you'll notice that the form is empty right now because, well, it's nighttime. But in order to make that possible, I had some help, actually from my uncle, who worked in computer programming and well, just worked with computers in general. Let's say he had very specific jobs throughout the years. But what he helped me to do, well, what he did for me, I think, is a better way to say that, is to create, I said I was going to say this earlier, didn't I? These scripts that were necessary to make these NPCs do what we need them to do, right? So with the tool, well, I guess we don't need to go into the mechanics of it, but at any rate, what he was able to do was to program certain NPCs such that they leave the forum at night. They go home, vacating the area so that we can see something a little bit more like what you might have expected at night. And then he programmed those same people to return in the morning when daylight breaks, which will be in another 10 or so minutes.
How fast is the day-night cycle?
Yeah, so Minecraft's day-night cycle, the default is 10 minutes day, 10 minutes night. But I found that the completion of quests, it was too fast. So he wrote a program, a simple one, that extended it and made it so it's 30 minutes for a day and 30 minutes for night now.
Fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I guess we did.
It's so pretty at night too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So right now, I'll show you how it works too. It's really beautiful. So here we have the Curia Julia, the Senate House, and right now we just have some statues around and in the center, and of course there's no one here. So let me just look out for him, Manlius.
He's got an axe.
Yeah. Oh, that's for well, okay.
For chopping?
Yeah, so it's protection. I'll show you. Well, it's protection, and it's for performing performing one of his two duties. I'll show you. Let's see, one of those. Hopefully, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, not yet. So here's one. Right. What are these vigils doing? Right. They're trying to put out fires. Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we've got someone just wearing it out, not putting out the fire. Water is pouring from an infinite source. I don't know how that, Minecraft, whatever, just let it happen. It's okay.
Oh, he'll get it.
Yeah, he's only been doing this for
He'll get
2
it.
months. He's gonna get it.
Choppy will get it. Mainly it's Choppy. This is
Where is okay? And then you have Kailu's here. Now let's see if Rome is dangerous at night, right? Extremely dangerous. In fact, if we look here, there's somebody robbing somebody else. Let's see what happens though. Get him! Get him, Kailu's!
Oh, we got him!
Oh my gosh! Yes!
I'll get
Kailu's for the win.
Oh, nice.
His famous last words, "Veni me et pugna." And so
come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. And so these vigils are here to protect you fine Roman citizens. Goodness, Luke, you did it. Where am I? What was I doing again? Oh, the script. Oh
yes.
Gosh. Okay.
Stay on task, Jesse. Come on.
Stay on task. Yeah. Don't mind that. Hold on. Oh god. Oh gosh.
Cuidaste.
No, it's fine, Luke. I told myself that on your channel, I was going to try to be more professional and not get so distracted.
No, that's the opposite of what I wanted.
Oh my gosh, that's the opposite.
This is great.
All right, so there's a god right there. Don't make eye contact. Oh, look at me. Well, anyways, let me show you.
I see his little wings flapping.
Oh yeah, well he's flying, right? Well he's gone.
Oh.
So that's part of the thing, right? There are certain characters that appear only at night, and that god that you saw there, he is one of those that only appears at night. Now let me show you. Go over here to the forum. Excuse me, the Curia. Oh, we've got a speaker. Look, there are people, senators entering.
Neat. So that's the scripting that you have.
Yes, this is the scripting. So these, and then they take a seat here, and they're going to face the speaker, who evidently has been talking even in everyone's absence. It's fine.
No, you got to practice. That's what I do before I have to give a speech. I go in there, I fill the space, I'd give half the talk, and then people come in, and then normal. That's how we do. Yeah.
So he worked really, really hard to write the script, perfect the script. There were many versions of the script to get it to where people come in and they sit down and they look where they're supposed to. You can see that script in action here as well. So you see there's a crowd of people coming from the Subura, which is located just down that street. It's time to work. Got to make that pecunia, man.
Hey, look at that. Coming on in. Salve.
So these folks are going to go do their various jobs, wherever those might be throughout the forum. We have other people coming into the basilica here because there's a court case. It's going down, right? And so they're coming in here to listen and maybe cheer on or boo on the.
I love being in here because this is not something we see often. The actual, I've almost never seen it depicted in cinema. Being inside the basilica during an actual court case happening. Like I know that the basilica, in basilicis, what is it in the beginning of the first chapter of Roma Eterna? But just like that, you do legal stuff. And
legal stuff, yeah.
Right.
And
what does that look like? Yeah.
Here's what it's kind of like what some of that legal stuff would look like. This is from, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Pliny. I think it's Pliny. I need to double check my notes, but he had described a court case that was taking place in this specific basilica, and tells now I should have put, if I wanted to be more realistic, I should have included many more people in here. He said it was packed, but due to constraints and loads on computers and so on, I wanted to limit that, but just give an idea. So we've got people down here and then people up top who are also watching, looking at the case unfolding before them, right? And of course, this wasn't the only place, and this is not the only setup, right? So if we go to the other basilica that you learned about in the Emilia Romana.
We were in Emilia or Julia? Which one were we just in?
Yeah. So, well, let's see. I wonder.
Wait, I see the Archiwum. So that's. Wait, darn it! I used to know which one was on the north. I think Emilia's on the south, right?
Well, let's see. So we'll talk to the Emperor Augustus, and he can tell us maybe.
Oh, gratias. Dic nobis Auguste.
Okay, so do we want to? Yes, we want to learn about this, and he tells us that it's called sometimes in reference to the Gaius et Lucius, right? So this is the Basilica Aemilia, right? The Basilica Aemilia, and then if we go over here.
On the wait, oh no, I'm disoriented again. Wait, now we're going on the south side. Yes, this is the Temple of Saturn's on the right.
Yes, and now we're in the Basilica Julia,
which is in the south. Darn it! How did I get that wrong?
All right. So inside of the Basilica, there are some interesting things that I'll point out. First, we have some gamblers. So some folks down here shaking some dice, making a little money, or losing money. We have folks enjoying each other's company, perhaps a taste of wine. I'll shoot this later. Just excuse me 1 second. All right. Then inside of here, this is another way that that the courthouse may have been divided. Again, I'm drawing a blank on the author here, but there are partitions that would allow them to have multiple cases going on simultaneously with like minimal distraction, right? Yeah. And so, right? So this orator Sempronius is going on about something. Hey, is that Magister Craft? Hey.
Oh, salve plurium, Magister Craft.
That's weird because I'm Magister. Well, that's fine. We'll never mind.
Yeah, there's like, are there 3 of you in here?
Yeah, there are a few of me strategically placed throughout the map. Yeah, just to kind of be weird, be me. What does this guy say? You know, like the whole, yeah. So, of course, Cicero, I guess, or the Orator Calvus, the balding guy, is giving his. Yeah, so we can kind of get an idea.
Pili effluentei.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, his hairs are flowing.
Flowing away, maybe? Excuse me.
Are flowing out towards him. Literally balding. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so I've got all kinds of stuff in here for folks. Yeah. Was there anything in particular that you were?
There was a couple other common questions. Someone asked how to say Ave Imperator. That's how you say it. Ave Imperator. And of course, ecclesiastical, just Ave Imperator, the V. Otherwise, they're basically identical.
Yes.
Let's see. Is that made with the Conquest Reforged mod, or is it just a resource pack? These are all the questions from earlier.
Conquest Reforged, yes, is the mod pack.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, shout out to those folks there who made these wonderful. If I could just fly up here real quick. Look at this. This is fantastic. I mean, Minecraft has come such a long way that we have these capitals.
Beautiful, the capitals there. That's great.
Yeah, we've got text, that we can print and size into marble in quotation marks.
That's fantastic. Isn't this a Temple of Castor and Pollux?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Very nice. I read the description, so I cheated.
Oh yeah. Well, Tiberius, he would have made you do that anyways. He would have told you to go down here and read the inscription.
On the second floor was a church. When it was buried, it was the kind of church facade. The facciata is still there, I think, right? If I'm no, wait, that's the one across from it. Which one is that?
That's, oh gosh. It's a temple that sits right here.
Yeah.
That's the temple of a married, was it a married couple? I think it's a man and a woman. I don't recall.
Oh, right. It's not first century. So don't worry about it.
No, yeah, that is a couple hundred years later. I don't remember. Don't remember the name. Right now, because in the Age of Augustus, we don't know all the things that existed underneath those buildings. So I've taken some liberties, and so I put a toilet, a latrina here. I just thought that was excuse me.
That looks good.
Need to give them some privacy. Just a moment there.
Some flies for company. That's good.
Some flies for company. Yeah. Oh, don't mind we have some fulones, more flies. People jumping
Someone
around.
was asking about AutoCAD. Yeah, you already mentioned at the beginning that AutoCAD.
Yes,
Someone has done something like it on. I guess you could do it on AutoCAD, but it's much more difficult. And I did some scripting stuff with a game like 20-ish years ago. It was called Myth of Fallen Lords.
Okay.
And but it was very difficult. So I admire you for doing all this. Let's say José. I think it's he's a Portuguese speaker. So José. So this is Alien, but hopefully you haven't had enough information now, José, that you can figure out how to do this. Maru says, "I want to be there. I want to play there." Yeah, go ahead. Go
Join.
do it. It'd be great.
By all means,
Do it.
please come on in. Yeah.
Yeah.
The water's warm. Feels good. Yeah.
Let's see if there's any other comments or questions we have here before we wrap up. This is just beautiful to look at. It's so pretty. And
thank you.
all the colors, and your Rome is, of course, gorgeous and iconic. Anyway, so just seeing it like this, and the charm, I think the blocky nature of it is extremely charming too. Obviously, that's an important feature of Minecraft, and it can't be any other way. It's deliberate, much as a cartoon character doesn't look like a human being. It's meant to look this way. In case anybody was wondering, who isn't familiar with Minecraft. Let's see. Where would someone call? Is it a Greek? I believe a Greek person. Yes, he said this is incredible. He called himself Minecraft. Oh yeah, it is incredible. Just wait till you get in and subscribe to his channel. Look at all those videos; they're amazing.
Yeah,
leave nice comments on Jesse's videos because they're amazing and they're really valuable and help a lot of people. They're used mostly by teachers, but individual students of all ages can take great advantage of the content because it's interactive and it's beautiful. So, yes. So those were any other comments or questions. Now's the time, folks. It's beautiful to look at. Anything else you want to tell us now, Jessie?
Well, I suppose another thing, just that I could say that plans. There's so many plans. So this is, I guess, really like phase one of the project. I can't. It's hard to stop. So when we opened, it was on Rome's birthday, and I had I created a special set of quests and included some special characters that were specific to Rome's to the festival of the Parriglia, or some people say Palilia, the festival celebrated on Rome's birthday on April 21st, and it went so well, and people really enjoyed that specific aspect of it. That what I've decided to do is, I think every month I'm going to pick at least one festival, a Roman festival, and then recreate a series of quests and special guests that will be available in the server for, I probably won't leave it I won't have it in there just for the day of the festival, because I feel like that might be a little too short-lived. So I think I'm going to stretch it out over a period of 3-4 days. So that.
Wait, when is that happening?
So once a month. So the next one, which is happening in May, we'll be celebrating the Lemuria or Lemuralia. So of course we'll have some ghosts in the ancient city that we'll be interacting with and doing some quests with. So looking forward to that. And then I think I'll just do that every month. Just have some new Roman festival celebrated. So that'll give folks a reason to bring your students back, or you come back and check it out every month and see what new thing. It's kind of like free lesson planning. I'm doing some of your work for you, right? Like, you just bring the students in, you want them to learn about that festival, let them join the server and learn about it through some quests, right? Where they're playing as an avatar in this safe, fun environment, right? Roam from home, as I called it.
Would you actually, I would want to know if you wanted to come back here, or just stream you doing the quest, like when it happens. That'd be really cool. Then everybody would know about it, and people might sign up and want to go participate. That'd be really cool, because I'd love to see it.
Absolutely,
that'd be really fun.
Luke, another thing I got to do is I need to get you in the game with me, right? Like, I still have the avatar. For those of you who
you got to get me Minecraft.
Yeah, I guess probably many of your polýMATHY folks will not have seen this, but you and I did a video, well, a couple of videos, but one in particular. You remember, there was several years ago, on the aqueducts of Rome. You remember that?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
And, love that one.
And I'll just kind of pull back here and come back into the video with us.
That's a lot of fun.
So, but I still have your avatar, so we can use that for you when you join, and maybe go live with that. It could be fun.
Okay. I would love that. All right,
yes.
totally.
So many other things planned for this down the road. So yeah, I don't know.
Wait. Well, come back and show us again, and maybe, and actually, we might do something like this too in Latin on our channel, ours, Legio Decima, and on Scorpio Martianus too, just because why not? That would be fun. So, but otherwise, yeah, if you come back here, Jesse, it'd be great to show us more of those things, or maybe I can stream myself playing once I get in there, and you can, and everyone can laugh at how terrible I am. I think that would be fun.
So, that'd be great. And kind of then we could like sort of show the evolution of it, and folks just kind of follow. That'd be great. Yeah, it'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Jesse, for being here and showing us. I mean, this is magnificent. I mean, just getting, because we've been to Rome, and when you're there, you just kind of squint, and like you see the Temple of Saturn, and you kind of do this, and you're like, I can see the rest of my brain, but to see it like this, I mean, there's pictures and there's some digital reproductions, but none that one can interact with at this kind of fun level. So this is amazing. Everybody sign up. Definitely subscribe to Magister Craft's channel, which is right there on the screen. And watch all of his videos and write nice comments on them.
Thank you, Luke, so much for letting me come on here and share this with people. Again, it's just it's a passion that I need. I need this out there, not for me, but because folks need to be a part of this. They need to experience this. They need to experience Latin as a language, not just as a skeleton that you are looking at through a microscope or digging apart. I mean, that's fun too, but that's not all that you can do with this language, right? Like, you can go buy bread. You can go help an Etruscan goddess perform some crazy, I don't know, quest. I
want to do that.
You can do this
That's
stuff.
Crazy.
Latine, right? So anyways, thank you so much for giving me the platform, the opportunity to share this.
Let's keep doing this. That'd be great. All right. Well, gratias sumas amici et gratias sodalibus nostris.
Thank you all so much.
Valete.